Dynak the Gano. Mathas Dayu, the Vorsoma Rag Gol Media Celtic. Ohana you Petrok Trelawney. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to Cornwall and to the Celtic Media Festival 2025. Dohadjathda, good afternoon. Dynak Pordom Venjalma Ventrethfor. Welcome to this jewel of the seaside that is Newquay. Heart of Cornwall's Atlantic coast, Cornwall's biggest town by population, a place that visitors have been flooding to from across these isles since the railway reached here in the 1870s. I very much hope you've packed your swimmers with you and will be taking to the waters on one of Newquay's fine beaches for an early or indeed late night swim. Apologies for the rain this morning if you experienced that. That's a complete rarity in Cornwall at this time of year, I can assure you. Comendia of Rag BBC Radio 3. I'm a presenter on BBC Radio 3, the BBC's classical music and cultural radio network. But I began my career here in Cornwall and need little excuse to return. One of my great triumphs was persuading the powers that be that my Radio 3 breakfast show should regularly broadcast from the BBC studios at Phoenix Wharf in Truro. And I think it's a good moment to just do a little shout out for BBC Radio Cornwall, one of our supporters today. Many of us work in public service broadcasting and are getting used to purse strings drawing ever tighter. And regional and local broadcasting in the BBC has suffered particularly in recent years. But Radio Cornwall still does an amazing job broadcasting to this place and broadcasting Cornish culture to those who live here. Even to our broader Celtic family, I think it's fair to say that Cornwall is sometimes seen as being a little remote or a little cut off from the mainstream. But I would like to make it clear that we have been at the heart of global communication for 3.5 centuries. Packet ships sailed the world from Falmouth from the late 17th century, bringing news and information back with them. Undersea cables ran from Porthcurno near Land's End from the 19th century. Thin copper wires wrapped up in rubber tubing carrying vital dots and dashes to Europe, the Far East and the Americas. In the early 20th century, the Italian radio pioneer Guglielmo Marconi filled the coastline near Poldhu on the Lizard Peninsula with his futuristic antennae, broadcasting to the world. Then came the vast parabolic dishes of the Goonhilly satellite station, enabling us to watch anything from anywhere live. Conflict, tragedy, political change, the Olympic Games, World Cups, Live Aid, even the Eurovision Song Contest, and many other major events. And today, just up the coast from here, near Bude, great cables land that come from under the Atlantic, cables carrying Google and YouTube and much of the tech that gets our programmes and our films out to viewers and to listeners. So we are truly at the heart of it when it comes to communications here in Cornwall. We are still in many ways at the starting block in terms of bringing our language back to life, but with its gradual return comes a clear sense of Cornish identity, something that we are very, very proud to share with you, our colleagues, our friends, our siblings, whether from Wales, Ireland, Brittany, Galicia, Scotland, or the Isle of Man. How fantastic that this is the 46th Celtic Media Festival. And I'd like to welcome first to Newquay, Towan Blustry, in Kennewick, Festival Director Katrina Logan.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Celtic Media Festival 2025 here in beautiful Newquay. It's an honour and a joy to open this year's festival, a space where stories, sounds and ideas from across the Celtic nations come alive, challenge us and connect us. There are so many people to thank, so many people who have made this festival possible. Let me first thank Laura Giles from Screen Cornwall, who was instrumental in bringing the festival back to Cornwall, and we're so delighted she did. The Celtic Media Festival Board of Directors, as ever, have been great, and our new chair, Anya, for being a constant source of support. Thank you. And of course to Naomi, my teammate who I'd be lost without. I've been working at Celtic Media Festival for 14 years now. And I'm only 25, so I don't know how that happened. I have always been proud of what we do and what we represent. Our festival has always celebrated the power of creativity, not just as entertainment, but as something deeper, more vital. Creativity can be joyful, yes, but it can also be a form of dissent, a way of pushing back, of questioning the world as it is. In times of division and uncertainty, creativity becomes protest, it becomes resistance, and crucially, it becomes a bridge, connecting communities, cultures, and languages that are too often underrepresented and unheard. This year, as with every year, that spirit runs through everything we do. From hard-hitting frontline documentaries to wild, joyful comedy, from children's content that empowers young voices to prestige drama that's breaking through on a global stage, our packed programme reflects the depth and diversity of our Celtic cultures. You'll hear voices that provoke, inspire and unite. And in our Celtic Media Festival International Pitching Forum, you'll see the sparks of programmes that I'm sure will go on to incredible success. Of course, we're also here to celebrate excellence. The Torque Awards, starting today and continuing through the week, shine a light on the best of what we do, in sound and screen, in every genre and in every Celtic language. These are more than awards. They're a recognition of the hard work, the creativity, the resilience and the innovation of our industries. So whether you're here to celebrate, to learn, to connect or to be inspired, or all of the above, you're very welcome. Let's honour the stories that shape us. Let's be bold, be brave, and above all, let's enjoy ourselves. I'd like to invite Kate Canali, the Chief Executive of Cornwall Council, up to say a few words. Thank you and have a fantastic festival.
Dóhidja da and good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to welcome you all to Cornwall and in particular to Newquay for the opening night of the Celtic Media Festival 2025. This is a real proud moment for us as it marks the first time the festival has returned to Cornwall since 2014 when it was hosted in the stunning town of St Ives. A decade may have passed, but our commitment to the Celtic nations and to celebrating our shared cultures and languages is stronger than ever. So you're all really welcome here in Kernow. In recent years, we've seen remarkable growth in Cornish language, film and media. And that's a testament to the creativity of our communities and to the deepening recognition of Cornish identity. The stories being told, often in our native tongue, are reaching wider audiences and making their mark across the Celtic nations and beyond. So Cornwall is proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with our Celtic nations, not just in cultural celebration, but in our shared values and allyship. And the bond between our nations are rooted deeply in our history, but they're also fundamentally vital to our future. And this festival for us is a powerful reminder of that unity and of the talent, heritage and innovation that flow through each of our Celtic nations. So welcome, Gans Lowen, to the delegates, filmmakers, storytellers and friends. We're absolutely delighted that you're here and we look forward to a few unforgettable days of creativity, conversation and celebration here on our Cornish coast. It gives me great pleasure to hand over to Jennifer Lowe, Grand Bard of the Gorsedd Kernow. Muraz and enjoy the festival.
Du hadjitra had dinach puurdom den Gul Media Celtic, had dinach puurdom the Gorno imwerth. Pleasure drizechan you the mave the vos om agenuch in Kernu, hani our kuntalwak solemni and our wenik ma, agan broyo Celtic. I'm delighted to be here as Grand Bard of the Gorsedd to give you a welcome to Cornwall and to this festival where we are celebrating all of the great inspiration and creativity in our Celtic countries. Thesyn fi enw yn Porthia, pan ddiwth yn gwl the gyrn o'n diwetha pris a point goth issue, the several om element ha prideri pers pelda o'r syni dos. A ddia enna ag yn ieith cynwyc rydwth y bos creffa, mwy gwelado ha causis mwy menoch. Since the last festival in St Ives, and I was there, in fact I was here the first festival in Cornwall in St Ives, although that's rather too long ago for me to want to admit it. And it's wonderful to be here now and reflect on how far we've come just since the last festival. Since then, our language has grown stronger, more visible and more widely spoken, And alongside it, Cornish filmmaking has flourished with bold, passionate voices bringing our unique culture to the screen like never before. Ystyr cemyn the alos agos ostia oma ha cyfrenwyr yn pols ma gans coetha dywrth a hys yn bys Celtic. In tanis oni the sgweddes ddiwch yn neth o wenig neb y fyw yn cenyw heddiw. A the fos a wenis gans yn pith y rochwi than gôl in weth. It's wonderful to be able to host you here and to share with you what's happening in Cornwall and with all of our friends from across the Celtic world to be inspired by what you bring to the festival as well. Whether it's your first time in Cornwall or whether you're returning after many years, we give you a warm welcome, hope you will feel at home with us here, and wish you an inspiring and wonderful festival. Regus bo Seith and Marthis, hag a wennick, Lowenhoch, Ghoul Media Celtic, Dowville Pimp, Warnigans. Enjoy the festival. Maraz.
Maraz, Jennifer and Kate. So our first awards presentation. Over the next 3 days, there will be 4 presentations of Talk Awards for Excellence. 28 will be handed out in total. And these are the awards, and beautiful they are too, and I might say very heavy as well. Their weight reflects the glory that comes with them because they celebrate the very best of production and talent from Brittany, Cornwall, Ireland, Scotland, Galicia, Wales and the Isle of Man over the past 12 months. National juries across the Celtic nations and regions have picked the shortlist. Then it's up to an international jury to pick the winners. And I'm sure we'd all agree that they have faced a very difficult and tough job indeed. Today we're going to be awarding talks for excellence in both sound and screen. In screen, it's current affairs, animation, sports documentary, entertainment and short drama. And in sound, we're going to be awarding the talks for comedy, drama and history. Each nominated programme has been through 2 international juries before reaching our international jury, so the Talk Awards really do justify their coveted status, and the nominees really are truly the very best creative media makers reflecting and representing their countries. Now, if you happen to be a winner this afternoon, we would ask you to bound down with great energy and enthusiasm to the front to collect your award and make a hopefully brief speech of acceptance. And afterwards, one of our fantastic team members will escort you out through those doors over there so that you can have your photograph taken with your talk. Following some short clips of each category, one of our jurors will tell us a little bit about the entries and how they came to their decision. So let's get on with our first category in the Celtic Media Festival 2025, Current Affairs. Let's see the nominees.
I feel so absolutely and completely and utterly betrayed by the church I was brought up in. The church haven't listened to me. They didn't do what they said they'll do. He's still not in my past. I can't see a time when I'm ever going to be able to let him go. It'll never be over because I live with it every moment of every day.
Mae gymaint o heated debate.
Da ni gorau gael y conversation, da ni gorau gael y media representation, cos os da chi ddim, mae pobl yn gael ei mwy ostracisio. Cos da ni dal mewn lle yn y byd lle mae yna cwffio yn erbyn pobl traws, a mae yna lot o transphobic a homophobic comments dal yn existio dyddi yma. Ond mae rhaid ddod pobl at ei gilydd, cant a cant.
Ooh, bullseye!
Today the headlines are dominated by stories about the state of our public services, health, education and justice.
We think there is like an immediate concern for their safety.
The NHS is dealing with industrial action on a scale unseen.
Shouldn't be like this. There shouldn't be patients up the side, either side.
It's an absolute shit show. In education, the attainment gap between the wealthiest and the poorest pupils has barely changed in years.
Son Uxía Ramos e traballo na Televisión de Galicia. Esta noite imos adentrarnos no lugar onde hai milleiros de historias por contar. Nestas 4 paredes agótense segredos que hoxe lles imos a descubrir.
Son María Jesús López Elvira, son chus, levo traballando aquí 35 anos como documentalista Son xefa deste arquivo hai casi 20 anos.
At the reception area, a man smashes the car rear window with a pole. He then throws the 6-foot pole, and it strikes a security guard on the head.
She's very.
And I'd like to welcome Charlie Fripp from Cornwall to announce our first winner. Charlie.
Dinach Pabonin, welcome everyone. Perlo and Ovi, the Voskanoth or Slemtnia Igarans, Adedio Parabenik in Kurno. I'm really happy to be with you at the opening ceremony of a very special few days in Cornwall. Gavenik having burswi, the Wellis Kwetha Hakwethi Zigoth Hanoeth, Hag Diski Kanoa Tamgwell. We hope you have time to catch up with friends and colleagues, old and new, and get to know Cornwall a little better. Current affairs holds power to account, amplifies underrepresented voices, and fosters a deeper understanding of issues that affect the world around us. And this year, the category is full of the very best that current affairs can offer from across our Celtic nations. From Ireland in Bishop Casey's Buried Secrets, we had powerful investigation and harrowing testimony of how senior Catholic figures tried to bury accusations of child sex abuse. From Wales, Bydd Thafel Chwarae offered a sensitive and insightful consideration of the debate around trans women in sports. From Scotland, Darren McGarvey Investigates the State We're In was a compelling investigation into our justice system with incredible access. BBC Northern Ireland's Spotlight, I Am Not OK, included powerful testimony of the impact on the daily lives of 4 families struggling to care for adolescent boys who have autism and severe learning difficulties. From Galicia, Caso Assunta used archive effectively and creatively to delve deeper into the Assunta case, revealing new material and offering new insights into what happened. For RTE Investigates Inside the Protests, Barry O'Kelly courageously spent months filming at protests against accommodation for asylum seekers, capturing racial abuse, intimidation, and arson attacks. All of these stories are important. All of them are well told. All of them deserve recognition. But in the end, for shining a light on an issue which often leaves families isolated behind closed doors in a compelling, emotional, and unflinching way, Gwainia and Torkrad Machata Cavas Orth Gul Media Celtic Duvil Pimpworn Ugans U, the winner of the Talk for Current Affairs at the Celtic Media Festival 2025 is Spotlight, I Am Not OK.
Thank you so much. It's very unexpected and a great privilege to be awarded this. This was a very tough film to make. The families were very brave to open their doors up to us, and this award is for them. It's not for TV, it's for them. So thank you very much indeed.
Our second award of the day is for animation. Here's a look at the nominees.
at de hoogte. Goed je papa nu ujek? Ach, femi du wie stolt. Oh, most nish ha papa stek die hadden je hadden rie fall out. Vad bang.
Who played Veruca Salt in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Starts with a J.
Julie Dawn Cole.
Oh, what? It's too many letters.
Well, it was her.
Yeah, look, I'm on about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, not Willy Wonka.
Oh, that was Julia Winter.
Well, it doesn't matter now. I got the wrong letters everywhere. Bloody crosswords ruined.
Well, just cross them out.
My OCD will go rampant if I do that, man.
And to talk about the category, the nominees, and present the winner, would you please welcome Cathy MacDonald.
Thank you very much indeed. This da, hello, agus fáte. What a fabulous location. Cornwall is amazing. Thank you for the opportunity to spend time with friends with some wonderful material to view over the next few days. And to my fellow jurors for making the whole process so straightforward after viewing hours and hours of wonderful programming. It is a real privilege to serve on the international jury, to experience firsthand the diversity of work and creativity in all the forms of storytelling from the different Celtic countries, and particularly at a time when the industry is facing its many challenges. But it's very clear that year on year we have more to say, and we're finding more innovative and visionary ways of doing so, which brings me to animation, a category that's so expressive and articulate when it comes to exploring human emotion and truth, or when it comes to communicating nuance or abstract elements of stories. The process itself, taking the story to screen, requires patience and imagination, and that was well illustrated in this year's shortlist. Lee Bawn gave us timeless fantasy, mining the rich Celtic myths and legends of which our shared cultures have an abundance. Bobanis Fuyak recreated the tactile elements of storytelling through the use of compelling tales for children, those learning the language, beautifully paced and scripted. A Wind and the Shadow captured the grief and resilience of a mother trying to process the torment of her young daughter's illness through rich and beautifully executed symbolism. The Golden Cobra illustrated how the same medium can be used to very different effect, to channel humour, even if Ebbavale's dodgy takeaway is definitely one I would rather avoid. The judges felt that the category overall was markedly stronger than previous years, signalling a growth in the sector, and that's encouraging. Of course, it all makes for tougher competition. But for sheer breadth of emotion and expression, for artistic sensitivity and innovation, this year's torque for excellence in animation goes to A Wind and the Shadow.
Hi everyone. It's a real honour to be here. I'm actually completely surprised, so I'm really properly prepared, to be honest. It's really amazing to see everybody else's work. It was really brilliant. It's a very sensitive story, so the award goes to Sophia. Vicky is one of the producers of the show. There's also John and Brian. Sophia is our niece, so it was very close to us. It took years and years to make this animation, and every kind of brushstroke was... we were very careful with how we placed it. I can't say anything else other than thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and this is very heavy, surprisingly.
We're going to move on to the first of our sound categories next. Here are the nominees in comedy sound.
Pois eu esta temporada non sei.
As madrugadas o fin de semana sempre teño lío, Non vai poder ser.
Pero Dani, Pini.
Non sei se poderei ir, teño a axenda...
Fran, hola, con todo o equipo ou case?
Radio Galega, onde estás ti?
What celebrity do you know that has a nut allergy?
Serena Williams, she's the greatest tennis player of all time. She won a Grand Slam pregnant. And the young ones are looking at her and thinking, well, if I tell people I can't have a walnut whip, they'll make a film about me daddy starring Will Smith. I'm not having Will Smith play me in a film. It's Vin Diesel or it's nobody, Michael.
Do you look like Vin Diesel?
No, I don't.
On Dead Man Talking, you've heard about my battles with my mental health, my attempted suicides, my crystal meth addiction, my HIV diagnosis, contracting COVID and my heart attack leading to 3 cardiac arrests, all by the time I was 40. So if you're tuning in for the first time, you've not missed much.
This is the Rebels' Guide to Snipering of the Gun.
What happens when the stupidest man in Ireland
I had my most probable father killed by the English as well.
is charged with expelling the British Empire out of the country?
Yes, that's it, shoot me!
Find out in a unique new radio play, Sniper Jones, Sister Jim.
And it is Simon de Valera here.
Don't sniper yet, Joe!
I need vengeance on the Britneys for a father killed and a mother lost.
Right, you're going to read out how much me and my wife paid for lunch.
£640.69.
See that noise you all made? That's exactly what my bum did.
Ti'n cofio beth dad y grisiau symud cyntaf i chdi? Dwi yn. Oedden ni'n dod i Fangor, just er mwyn cael mynd ar y grisiau symud yn Woolworths. Oedden, yn Woolworths.
Dwi'n meddwl fanna fysa gyntaf fi Woolworths Bangor.
Ia.
Mae rhaid.
100%. Lle oedd grisiau symud cyntaf i chi fynd arno fo'n y de Cymru, Gaerdydd sy'n meddwl de. So byddwn ni'n Gaerdydd oedd.
Cwestiwn y dydd. Hoff escalator.
Hoff escalator.
Wales are the second best recycling nation in the world. It's just nice to know that every time you shamefully drag all those empty wine bottles onto the streets, you're making your country proud. Silver medals all round. And to think we would have been number one if Vaughan Gething hadn't spent the last 6 weeks burning evidence in his back garden.
And to present the winner in the category of comedy, Sam, please welcome Katrina Murray to the stage.
Fesgama Harden, Hanchoma Havisho as a horn. Delighted to be here in Cornwall for my first visit, and from what I hear from fellow jurors who've been here and local residents, I'm in for a treat over the next few days. This first sound category of Celtic Media this year, and it's comedy. And as you heard there, they were quite varied, and comedy is always so subjective and so difficult to judge. So you're going to have to just accept the decision and conclusion of the jury. We had 2 stand-up routines. One was a kind of gentle observational comedy. The other, much more gritty comedian, nursing on his own, musing on his own mortality, and nursing it as well, I think. We had a topical satirical panel show, a parody of a live radio show, a genuine live comedy and music radio show, a recorded performance in a bar, and a dramatic comedy documentary, which tells the untold story of one of the greatest gobshites in Irish history, as the narrator puts it. So all of that, and a range of durations from 15 minutes to 2 hours, so it's not easy to judge. So how to choose a winner out of what was a very strong category with lots of comedic talent on display? The jury thought that one entry stood out though. The writing was clever, the performances were great, the comedy was really quite absurd, it was different, and most importantly of all, it made us all laugh. The torque for excellence goes to Sniper Joe and Sister Jim.
Jeepers. Be God. Mighty. Well, we are on Intach again, ag Jennifer on Galar Shaw. We had a wonderful team making this programme. And the hash story, Michael Murphy, Tina Callagher, Jerry May, Pat Deary, and the Screeve Nori, Seamus and Etha Callaghy. We were very fortunate to have a great team and the support of Commission de Mian in our funder in Ireland. And News Talk Radio for allowing us to produce such absurdities. Comedy is very important nowadays, especially in our extreme world that we're all facing. And I just would like to say that, personally speaking, it's important that we do what we can in our world. It's a difficult time. I was looking at something yesterday that Liam Cunningham, an actor in Ireland, is doing his best to bring the world's eyes on the situation in Palestine, and I think that's an important thing that we all should be aware of and respond to in whatever way we can. So, Gurmila Magav, thank you very much.
We move on to sports documentary next, and here are the nominees.
It's obviously a very unique story to have a mum who's won what she has and achieved what she has, but also then do it in the same event. It's obviously pretty special.
I just feel very, very fortunate to be my mum's daughter. I'm very proud of that fact as well. I think I was very fortunate to have a role model like that growing up. I probably didn't realise it at the time, but now when I look back, for sure. I mean, she instilled hard work into me from a very young age.
The time we all got together, it was like a party. You know, we were all singing, we were all in great form, having a few drinks and what have you. Never forget it. We were all standing on the seats, and when they were coming out, and the gas part was, we were all happy. And when Eubanks was coming out, we were all singing, do you understand, Simply the Best. And I was saying to myself, why are we singing this to them?
He was just such an intelligent player for me. You know, he wasn't dynamically quick, but he was brilliant with both feet. And he was so intelligent, and that's what I loved about him, like, and he was a brilliant finisher.
McDermott's in here. Dalglish!
His awareness of everyone around him, 360 degrees, was pretty amazing.
Rusteu an amzer. Sansedeu an avel hueza tregon skum na varadu, benefin e chom na pem skum na tregon e pa dir amzer. Divar gant kevezer var an linen loch, anter kan skipper o deus dilezet. Torret o deus entravelag, glajet din bet, pe neon ke prest a walar.
Abrezele o c'hoaz Hermes, dans Célite.
Have games like they have now where they play in maybe 4 or 5 games a year. We'd have maybe one once a year.
I think the performance of the girls, as far as I'm concerned, was quite good, considering that they don't get together very often, and we meet maybe once every few months.
Doedd y tîm ddim yn gysylltiedig gyda Cymdeithas Pêl-droed Cymru. Oedd gennych chi Cymdeithas Pêl-droed Menywod Cymru, ond oedd 'na ddim byd yn cyfuno'r ddau.
And to present the award for sports documentary, Jonathan Farrelly, who I think has perfectly dressed Newquay style from his surfboard. Jonathan.
Thank you for not embarrassing me about wearing shorts. Thank you, everybody. This is my 4th time on the international jury, so thank you for having me back. And this is the 3rd time where I will say that congratulations to everybody in this room, because the entries get better every year. Like, honestly, so in a world where we all face tariffs and budget cuts and potentially a recession, every person in this room is has exponential growth of creativity, and I genuinely mean that. We were talking about this earlier on, like the standard is amazing. So what you've seen here in Sports Doc, we had sailing, we had running, we had football, and the most surprising thing that we all agreed was that the Welsh nomination was not rugby. So well done, Wales, and it was women's football, which was incredible again. But as with everything, we need a winner, and I have a personal connection to the winner here because I watched this event live. So I was 11 years old at the time, and I'd like to tell you that me and my friends snuck into the bar in my local village, but we walked in and we could have ordered a pint if we wanted. So we sat and we lit up our cigarettes and we watched Chris Eubank coming in. And just with that clip, perfectly kind of gives the vibe that I remember of 90s Ireland, where it was a really fun place, and like there was no cynicism, and we had like this generosity. And I remember, I love Chris Eubank anyway, and I still love him today. I think he's a hilarious character, but watching that fight was how I grew to love boxing, and I still love it as well. But that was just a flavour of Ireland, which this documentary perfectly encapsulated. It was just like, it was fun, and people weren't cynical, and they were generous, and they applauded Eubank as he came in. So the winner is... Anybody? One Night Mill Street!
Thank you. And I have to say, what was just said about the film was really pleasing, because that's really exactly what we set out to do. It was really to capture not just the event, but the nation at the time. It was a nation that was really changing really, really quickly. And we just felt that that fight really, as you just said, encapsulated really everything about a country that was coming out of the 1980s, and it was a really grim place, and yet there was a sense of optimism in the air, and I hope that we actually captured that. So thank you, this is great.
Four more awards to go in this session, and our next is for Entertainment on Screen. Here are the nominees.
Estas defensas, teníamos unha defensa espiritual que nos protexía,
sí,
que era o obispo, non? O representante da diócesis de Santiago,
sí.
Pírez.
Mira como fan, coas espadas nos escudos, que por certo, hai que dicir, para que non sitúe, non, cando foron os ataques dos vikingos aquí, que a Romaría Vikinga de Catoira recorda os ataques normandos que trataban de saquear Galicia, entrando, pois onde estamos, no río Ulla, nos séculos 9 e 10. E, claro, que pasou?
Har man inte lutat glången?
Han är goni.
Ja.
Kan man också find pointen, och också find pointen så style with panache. When you do functionality.
Han user ju att sån panache.
Det är panache killar, by the way.
Ha, hålla kalla, kan se det något. Jag visste så allt jag. Han är lukornar i föttiker. Så, han är lukornar i föttiker.
Hallå, ser det.
Oh, hello, come away in. It's Hogmanay. Let's get the tunes on. Scotland loves the tunes. New Year is our national party night, so we're creating the perfect playlist for the Scottish Hogmanay hoolie.
Tí cuirt is mórtíide tá omthirí na seachtainna Carl agus Jason réile áthirta ar státe a chu dasach mór réil na seachtainna Claudia Buckley.
All right, everybody, let's have some fun. Here we go. Come on in,
sit right down and make yourself at home.
Funny, I still get asked questions like, where do you come from? You know, that, but where do you really come from?
Ia, union yna. O Gaernarfon, ia, ond lle ti'n dod o?
Gosh, really? That's awful. Nawr, yn y blwyddyn hon?
I've never seen insulting of it. Not where do you come from, but where do you really come from?
Yeah. I know that I'm not accepted as being Welsh by lots of people. My view is tough luck.
Good on you.
Wedi gorau cledu efo do.
Dwi'n am iawn yw e. Na, dwi'n mor drist.
Yeah. Right, so. How are you, mate? How are you, fella? I'm really good. Great to see you. And you, man? And you? I'm very well. I'm looking at you a lot on the telly. I know, apologies. And you make me laugh. Apologies, mate. It's all right. Well, you make me laugh. That's why I'm here. And you've... You know, you came to England, did a couple of gigs for me. So Yeah. when they said to me that you were doing this, and I've seen it on, you know, the YouTube and stuff like that, Yeah, caught yeah. some bits, I said, absolutely. So Is it here is it awful crack doing the chase?
And to talk about the category and tell us who the winner is, please welcome Lee Walters.
Thank you, diolch yn fawr. Big thanks to the Celtic Media Festival for inviting me to be on the international jury this year. My first time, very much enjoyed it, and thanks to my fellow jurors as well. Also, big thanks to the Celtic Media Festival for facilitating my first return to Newquay since arriving as an 18-year-old, post A-levels. 14 of us from Swansea arrived, realised that nobody had a tent when we got here, and it rained all that weekend too. Yeah, and great to see that Walkabout is still open. So, good news. Right, I'm here to talk about Best Entertainment. And the Best Entertainment category this year showcased an outstanding breadth of talent, imagination, and cultural expression across the Celtic nations. From the high drama of Glicia's Viking pilgrimage in Shego o Dia, to the DIY chaos and Gaelic humour of Doilin DIY. From Get the Tunes On, Scotland's joyous Hogmanay celebration of music and comedy, to Glór Tíre, which continues to elevate Ireland's country music scene with style and heart. And Gogglebox Cymru, which through sharp commentary, big laughs, and real conversations reminded us that watching television is also about seeing ourselves and each other. And of course, the Tommy Tiernan Show, which delivered spontaneity and soul in every unscripted encounter. Each nominee brought something fresh, distinct, and of course, deeply entertaining. Everybody deserves recognition. But of course, there must be one winner, and the talk for Best Entertainment is awarded to Gogglebox Cymru.
Waw, diolch yn fawr iawn, a diolch am y croeso I Cernyw. Really wasn't expecting that. On behalf of Cwmni Da and Chwarel, a new co-production team on Gogglebox Cymru. Thank you for S4C for seeing that this was an opportunity to make a format, a really Welsh format, and for all people who were taking contributors on the show and that put their all into the series. Looking forward to the next one. Diolch yn fawr.
Our next award today is Short Drama. Here's who is in the running.
Now, please paid, nath Emma neud yn am mis diwetha, nath ni golli 200 subscriber. Be am sgwennu am ti? Y struggles yn dy yrfa, a sut nes ti gyrraedd yma?
Ti'n moyn fi tynnu fy violin fi mas hefyd?
Oh my god, ti'n chwarae violin? Dwi'n credu nes I golwm yma fod yn huge hit I ni.
Ambulance. Yeah, I need an ambulance. My husband has been in an accident. I need help. No. We're on a farm. He's lost blood, a lot of blood. Gilcreedy, V94 or C88. No, there's nobody with him now. I just found him.
An spáinne tú an ceathaí naibinse?
Sílam go Greenwood. Houston. An gluisiún sib mé Houston.
Houston. An gluisiún sib mé Houston. Houston. An gluisiún sib mé Naibinse. Má level ódó ag istú. Stan socht fósig titim.
Lost it for a moment there. I'd lost it.
I think you will agree it's really interesting hearing the inside track from the jury about how they came to their decision. And to tell us about that thinking when it comes to short drama and to announce the winner, please welcome Raisa Ahmed.
Hi everyone, it's lovely to be back. Short film is an art form, and if anyone here has made a short film, you'll know that the budgets are very low, if you get a budget at all. Your blood, sweat, tears, and a bit of your soul goes into it. You come out hating the people you love and loving the people you hate. There's nothing like going through that process of making short drama, and it really kind of makes you a better storyteller. We were presented with 5 very different stories this year in the short drama category. Each had something unique and brilliant that made it stand out. We found ourselves in the world of fashion journalism and battling workplace ableism. We got to share the experiences of a 9-year-old who is trying to get everyone around him to see that he can do the things that he wants to do despite his brain working a little differently. We got to experience an eerie and terrifying tale of the investigation of a man's disappearance with the use of natural environment, Celtic and Cornish traditions that kept you on the edge of your seat. And then we got to experience the little mouse girl Mimi in stop motion as she helped us understand our older Mimi who's dealing with dementia. And then we were taken to a completely different type of terrifying with a horrific incident which left us with more questions than we could answer. Coming to a decision on what the winner was quite challenging, I would say. We had quite a big discussion about this, and we loved all of the films for very many different reasons. And I echo what was said before. I do feel like each year these categories get stronger and stronger. For its bold choices and leaving us with a lot of questions that meant that the film really stayed with us, our winner for short drama is CAF.
So
CMF couldn't be here, but we will make sure they receive their award.
Maras Raisa. The next award, and we have just 2 left in this session, is for Best Drama in Sound. Let's listen to the nominees.
Is féidir lom taistil siar céad bliain. Isteach is saoil Jimmy ein or oscliam an leabhar. Ein scéal Jimmy?
Chuig mam agus dad go dtíon lein, cúpla lá rah nóig, agus thugad ar an cappa leotha.
Their arms folded in a somber gaze, the dietitian appears baffled.
Can I make a suggestion, Bernard? You're not helping yourself by refusing food. How long is this going to go on for?
I'll eat the custard.
You're not going to be eating rubbish whilst we're responsible for you. You need a balanced, healthy diet. There's no goodness to be had living off custard.
Excuse me for trying to show interest and concern. In the future, I won't bother.
Sometimes my friends and family are right, and sometimes they're really not. Just don't want to talk about it every single morning.
Okay.
No, it's not okay though, is it? How have we got to this?
Why don't we all take a break? Let everyone breathe and start again in 15 minutes.
I'm going outside.
Fi wedi wneud lot o feddwl yn ddiweddar. Ambyti fi, ambyti ni.
Sef pam da ni yma yn y bar lle gafon ni'n dates cynta.
Yeah. Wow, ife?
Ti'n mynd cofio?
Yeah, ofs. Ola, drycha, fyddai'n graddio cyn hir, a fydd lot yn newid. Mae'r ddwy ni angen cysondeb.
Absolutely.
So, wy'n meddwl ddylen ni dorri lan.
Of course! Sorry?
You would think old scared Tam would be the last person to take a wee glance in, but curiosity has firmly replaced his fear. And with a curious voice, he says, "All right. What's going on here?"
Dos galalfa an mála pleisteach, agus chuirtí roint fiog púdar bháin amach go cuaramach an slánán. Chórig sí an púdar bán an bailach seo is an bailach siúd leis an chórt a buink. Go dtí go raibh gá lína haní ré aici an slánán.
The brilliant power of audio drama, and to talk about the decision-making process and announce the winner, please welcome Sonia Nicgilla-Earsbig.
Dibh da a chuirde tá sé galanta bhéon seo our mask Nuki aniu. Today we are gathered to highlight and celebrate the exceptional talent showcased in the drama radio category. Our task wasn't an easy one, as the quality of entries this year truly pushed the boundaries of creativity and storytelling in radio drama productions and proves that there is a unique storytelling ability in us Celts. It really was a pleasure to be on the jury with Kevin and Sally in this category, and to listen to the variety of drama productions that were nominated. This year, the category had a great array of storylines and was well contested with a mixed variety of themes. The great thing about drama is that it transports you into another world through its storytelling and soundscapes, and that was very much the case with this year's nominees. In this category, we had everything from a riveting storyline of a zombie apocalypse in Ovaran View from BBC Cymru to a haunting live narrative in Tam O'Shanter from BBC Radio 4. Jimeen Wayaheg was a fabulous production showcasing youthful energy from Macala Choranta. We got a new perspective on a modern storyline based on a Ukrainian family in mediation, Spilt Milk from BBC Radio 4. We were made to laugh out loud with the great script and acting in Huashal from Radio na Lifa, and the cleverly written Live a Little Longer from Giddy Goat Productions may have taken a tear from our eyes. Each drama was truly so different from each other. The jury was blown away by the scale of these productions. They had well-written scripts, stellar performances, and a masterful use of sound effects painting a vivid and poignant picture that took the jury on an auditory and emotional journey across different worlds and different experiences. This year, the jury felt that the winner of this category gripped our attention from beginning to end. The dramatic storyline with its twists and turns, the fabulous performances complemented by the excellent soundscape of the different surroundings that immersed us into their world so vividly. This drama and the winner of this category is O Varan View.
Oh, I did not expect that at all. Last year I had I was greedy and was involved in two productions. One was a epic 13-song 4-part harmony production musical, and another was a dramatisation of a big Welsh classic. So hey, zombies and the LGBTQ plus community surviving the zombies is the way to go, eh? Wow, I'm so happy, but really I'm not surprised that it's won because of the script. Alan Saunders wrote a wonderful script, and as a producer and director, it's all, and anybody who's worked in drama, we all know it starts in the script, and he did a wonderful job. We had great characters, originality, superb, strong story, and a bit of dark humour as well, which is my favourite. A wonderful cast as well. Some of them I hadn't worked with before, and one of them was the first time she'd ever, I think I'm correct in saying, ever worked in the Welsh language, so we're very pleased about that. And it's very timely that Alan has won this. I'll just take a moment. Alan Saunders has had a pretty rough year. He was very brave last week on his social media, saying how difficult and challenging that year has been for him, personally and professionally. We all know it's difficult for freelance writers, so I know that this award will be mean so much to him at this current moment in time. So thank you very much. Diolch fawr iawn. Oh, yeah.
Just one more award to go, and it's another sound category. Here are the nominees in the category History Sound.
It's one of those things now you ask yourself, did I actually see that? This series is, in part, me reaching back, trying to get to that moment, not the UDA drilling, that Tuesday evening in May 1974 and all that flows from it, to try to understand what happened and why.
Every one of those people left someone behind.
Be so good as to write to me soon and often. Your letters I shall ever prize most highly.
They left to find something better, and sometimes they did.
I'm going out through the mountains next month on a search of a better place for the summer.
The only way to stay in touch with home was by letter.
O'n i'n 15 oed pan ar y ddigwydd, ac oedd mam I gadael efo 5 ohonon ni.
Oedd yn haws I ddim eisiau mynd I gweithio os oedd yno. Ond gymaint o nwy lawr yna.
Dwi ar daith I ddod o hyd I beth yn union ddigwyddodd a sut mae tanchwai Bresford wedi esgor ar ymateb creadigol ac yn dal I wneud hynny.
He was known as the Robert Burns of Connemara. And he was, but not only because of his poetry, but also because of the smuggling and the womanizing.
I read somewhere that Anthony Raftery was aware of Micheál McSignon. He was. And why wouldn't he be?
He was violent sometimes, divisive and transformative. All those things and more. But for me,
how you doing, man?
It was personal.
Lovely to see you.
That's always good to see you, man. And to talk us towards the winner, please welcome Kevin Walker.
Dydd dda, ha ma fi Colin yn Jew. This was an exceptionally rich and thought-provoking category, with each programme offering its own unique lens on the past, be it through dramatic emotive storytelling, powerful poetry, or beautifully composed soundscapes. As a jury, we were struck by the sheer variety of approaches, each entry making history feel alive, immediate, and heartfelt. From Gresforth, 90 mlynedd, a moving tribute to a tragic story many of us had never heard before, told with elegance through interview, poetry and music, to the tense cinematic storytelling of Assume Nothing, How to Kill a Government in 14 Days, which kept us on the edge with its suspense and detailed telling of an event which paralysed Northern Ireland's newly formed devolved government. We were also deeply touched by the documentary on One, A Letter from Home, which gave voices to the quiet struggles of immigration, full of love, loss and resilience. Strike gave us a grounded and insightful look at political upheaval and working class solidarity, offering a vital perspective on a pivotal moment in social history. Then there was Michal Machsivne, a lyrical and evocative programme that beautifully blended history and poetry, its voices echoing deeply in memory and place. So it was no easy task choosing a winner from such a powerful and divisive lineup. Diverse lineup, even. But in the end, one programme stood out for the sheer brilliance of its immersive storytelling, a blend of voice and sound, bringing to life a tumultuous period of history, bridging the past and present in such a real way that I, for one, had to check my windows hadn't been shattered during the retelling of a fight scene. The torque for this year's History Sound goes to Assume Nothing, How to Kill a Government in 14 Days. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone from the team could be here today, so we'll make sure they get this award. Thank you very much.
Maras Kevin, that is all for today. Thank you very much to our fabulous jury members for all their hard work listening and watching and talking and deciding. And congratulations to all of our winners this afternoon. If you haven't already been photographed clutching your talk lovingly, or they're not holding it up for too long because they are very heavy, as we've established, please make sure that you get to our photographer so we can get a record of you with your award. We hope to see you all down at the harbour later for some sea shanties and maybe some sea shandies as well. We'll be back here at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for coffee before things kick off with the Celtic Media Festival International Pitching Forum. Enjoy your night in Newquay. Do have a swim. There are no beaches like Newquay beaches. Thank you very much. And once again, welcome to Cornwall.